Well, hey, neighbor, it's me, Angie. Come on over. I'm in the yard today doing our neighborhood chat. Yeah, that's what we're having. Our neighborhood chat. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome in. James and I were on the coast this weekend. We had a great time. I can report that we did win a little bit of money, but not enough for James to be able to retire. But it was fun, and we plan on going back in a few months and enjoying another weekend. But it's always fun with the people that you really want to be with, the people you enjoy being with. That's who you should be with, the people that you really enjoy being with. Anyway, it's time for our neighborhood chat. And if I hadn't told you lately, I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. So today we're going to talk about words. How a lot of us don't know the meaning of simple everyday words that we use, and we use them out of context and not in the right way, and they have just been brought up to think they know what the word means, and you really don't know what the word means, and you use it. Just like today, these let's say from the millennials to the Gen Zs to, they got another name for the next generations, which is Gen Alpha or something. That may all be wrong about the Alpha. I'm not sure. But anyway, did y'all know the most important thing and what the most important thing in life is? To be able to live a calm-free existence of peace and calmness. Do you know what it is? I mean, people try to make life difficult, and you can make it as difficult as you want to. I've done that in my years of life. I mean, back in the day, I made everything difficult. I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. But the most simplest thing for us to do, and we can't seem to do it, because it's so simple that we think, oh, that can't be the thing to do. That can't be. Because if we make it more difficult and everybody can't do it, then we can say, oh, we did it, and we can look important. Most of the time, people want to look important. They want to look like they know more than somebody else. They want to look better than what everybody else is doing. And it's like this constant battle of who can get higher on the ladder. The thing about it is, with me, I've never even found this so-called ladder that we're supposed to be climbing to get above each other. If somebody can put in the chat where this ladder is that I can find, I would really appreciate it, because I'm open to things and I love to ask questions and learn, because I never stop learning. That's the thing. Don't ever stop learning. I always wake up in the morning saying, what can I find out today? Now, you can't imagine the useless information that my husband has. I call him Mr. Jeopardy, because he just has a brain full of information that he'll never use, but he just knows. I mean, you can bring up any subject and he knows a little bit about it, and he really does. But anyway, words. And actually, it's not the word that's so bad. It's the way we bring forth the word that we're using. I mean, you can use any word you want to use, and the intent behind the word is what's so bad. I mean, you can literally tell somebody off and never even use an ugly word. And you can use an ugly word and it not even really do anything to anybody. So why do we put so much emphasis on it being the words that are so bad when it's really the intent of the heart? The person speaking the word and how they project it is what's so bad, you know? Because if you were just reading these words off a piece of paper and you were just calmly reading them and had no emotion, no feeling, no anything, then they're not bad. So really, it's not the word. But let's just focus on the word love. Let's get back to that, the word. And that is the main thing that we have to do in the world today is love each other. That's it. Two things that are simple within my beliefs that people try to make things difficult. And that is to love the God I serve with all my heart, soul, and mind. Okay, I can do that. And to love our neighbor as ourselves. That's the two things that we are given to do. But we can't seem to do it. We can't seem to, which I know there's some people in the world that appear to be unlovable and they won't let you love them no matter what you do. Okay. Stay away from them. Don't go near them. Pray for them. Because the God I serve is the only one that can change that person. You can't. Stop trying to change people. You can't. Stop trying to manipulate people into becoming what you want them to become. No. You continue to strive to do better within you and make your journey better and easier. And by doing that, the people that's supposed to be in your life will enter your life. And the ones that are not will go by the wayside. But no, we can't do that. We want to manipulate. We want to manipulate things. And that gets you nowhere. When you try to manipulate things and people and, you know, this love, I always say, is a choice, and it is. And you can believe me when I say that or not. Now, this love of falling in love with somebody and you have this attraction toward them, that's not the love I'm talking about. I'm talking about love for mankind and love for your neighbor and love for people in general. Not that emotional feeling. But most of us want that emotional feeling toward people on an everyday basis, like people we just meet. If we don't have any kind of, feeling toward them, then we don't want to love them. If we can't get something from them or they don't have something we want, we don't want to love them. Well, you're not really loving them anyway because you're just needing them. And your need for them is stronger than your love for them. But it should be the other way around. Your love for someone should be greater than your need. And when you love someone, it's more about the other person than it is about you. Because you're giving them something that they probably don't deserve. Just like my God gives me every day. He gives me his love, which is undeserving. And I don't deserve it, but he gives it to me. And so many times we feel like, oh, I can't love that person because I'm too special to give my love away. Everybody just can't be loved by me. I'm so special that my love is so great that if I love anybody, they better be glad that I love them. Now, how ridiculous is that? Because love is a gift. It's a gift that you give to someone. And whether they give that same gift back to you, it doesn't matter. You've done what you are supposed to do. Now, because a lot of people have insecurities, they have abandonment issues, they have mommy issues, daddy issues, and they have so many things in their closet that they don't want people to know about. They really don't know how to love people. And then they get upset when they come across somebody that does know how to do that. And they don't know how to handle it. So they want to jump up and down like a little spoiled child and get mad. Well, that's not necessary. Because first of all, when you really and truly love someone, you do not demand things from them. You allow them to be who they are, and you accept that. Don't go with the premise, okay, I'm going to love them, but they're going to have to change. No. That's where a lot of marriages fall short. Because when James and I first got married, I was under the illusion that he would do different than what he was doing because he loved me enough. No. I couldn't change him. Only God could change him. And only God could change me to be who he wanted me to be according to what he thought in his mind. Don't ever expect something from someone that can't give it to you. If you're going to love someone, freely love them. Don't expect anything, and you will never be disappointed. You have to be really secure in yourself to be able to give out love and not expect anything in return. And I'm there. I can freely give out love and never expect anything, because all my needs are met already. So anytime that I say to you that I love you, I really do. Because I'm not trying to get anything from you. I'm not trying to manipulate you in any way to get you to like me or me to ask you to give me anything. No, I don't. And that's the most freeing feeling in the world. And being able to love people without strings attached is one of the most freeing things in the world. Don't give things to people with strings attached. Can you imagine people giving you gifts and then expecting something in return? Or later on throwing it up in your face that they did this, this, and this, and this for you? I'd rather you not even give me anything if you're going to have to remind me of what you did. If you did it with a giving heart, it should never be mentioned again. Except by the person that you gave it to, saying thank you. And that should be enough. Not going around telling people, well, you know what I did for them, and they didn't even appreciate it. You can't make people act and say and do what you want them to do. And why would you? Why would you want to control somebody? Then that means they really aren't loving you. They're just loving you because you're making them love you. No, I want people to freely love me. So I'll know that they truly do. And I can recognize when people are just trying to pretend that they do or trying to use me. I can recognize that, but that doesn't mean that I don't love them. But I only allow it to go so far. I only allow them to go so far with their games. Because you see, I don't like games, and I know you don't either. None of us like to be manipulated. None of us. Manipulation is one of the cruelest things I think someone could do to somebody. No, I'm not going to try to manipulate anyone. I'm not going to try to strong arm anyone to be friends with me or like me. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to talk about them. I'm not going to say ugly things about them. I'm just not going to allow them to manipulate me, and you should not either. You're valuable. You're worth more than what you're giving yourself credit for. You mean something to someone. Find your people. Your people are out there. I'm telling you, they are. Words. Watch your words. Find out what the words that you're saying actually mean. Make sure that the words you're using are the correct words that you want to relay of how you feel about someone. Whether you're using it in anger or whether you're showing it in love or whatever, make sure it's the right words. not just something you thought you learned in school or someone told you that's what that word meant. Seek it out for yourself. It amazes me that people listen to what somebody else tells them they should believe instead of learning what they're supposed to believe on their own. First and foremost, I'll take what somebody says and I'll listen to it, but then I'm going to research it. I'm not just going to take their word for it, that what they're saying is true. I'm not. When I went to church and our pastor would preach on a topic and he would get to a certain point in that sermon and it just didn't sound correct. It was like, no, I don't think that's the way that went. I don't think that's right. I would just have a gut feeling that something was not right. And when I got home, I would start researching the scriptures that he taught on and preached on and go back and look, and I would think, he missed the mark. And guess what? Preachers can miss the mark. They're just as human as we are. Imagine that. Never look at your preacher and put him on a pedestal. No, no, no. He's just as human. He goes to the bathroom the same way you do. And he wipes himself front to back or back to front. And if he does it any different, I like to know things like that. If there's a different way to work that procedure out. I'm just saying. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But I'm here to tell you, watch your words. Watch how you speak to someone. Watch how you act around people. Just like Lincoln, James and I have not seen him in over a week. So my daughter Taylor brought him by today because she had to leave work early. And as soon as he walked in the door, I was like, Lincoln, I'm so happy to see you. It's Gigi. I love you. I greeted him just that way. That's the way I love to greet people. Even when people come into my live chat, I'm like, well, hey, how have you been? And it's sincere to me because no one wants to be greeted with animosity or, oh, hey. That immediately lets the person know they're not welcome. Now, I know there's some trolls out there, and I know we know who they are. And I'm not asking you to greet your troll like I just greeted my grandson, because there is a way that you have to be stern and firm, and you have to treat someone that tries to come in and steal your joy and peace. Now, there is. And of course, there's always time to be angry. We were given that emotion. Of course, there's a time to be angry. But we got to know when to use it, how to use it, and why we use it. We just can't walk around angry all the time. Well, we can. We can do whatever we want to do. But we can't expect people to understand. And we can't expect people to love us when we're always in a dramatic, mad, angry mood all the time. And when we feel like we're being manipulated, no. People are not going to respect you for that. So let me tell you something, friend. Love is the answer. True love, real love. You can find the definition of that love in 1 Corinthians 13. Start with verse 1. That whole chapter tells you what love is. If you can live your life like that, then you don't have to worry about people being angry, mad, because you're not going to worry about what they're saying. Because actually what they're saying about you is none of your business. Imagine that. It's none of your business. Because in the book I read, that my faith, that I believe, it's in Proverbs at 16:7. It says, when a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies be at peace with him. So see, you don't even have to worry about it. But you do have to be sincere about it. That's why, neighbor, I can honestly say that I love you. Because I do. Practice makes perfect. practice loving someone without any strings attached. No matter what they look like, what their financial situation is, what their religious belief is, what their political belief is. Come on. How can you dislike somebody because of their political belief? That is beyond me. I don't understand it. I mean, honestly, do you dislike me because my favorite color is green and yours is red? That's just how silly that sounds to me. That little kids at school say, oh, I'm not going to like you because you don't like green. That's the same thing to me. I'm not going to like you because you believe you are for this person in the presidential race and you don't like the same person I like. That's about the extent of where that goes, is kindergarten. It is. I have friends that do not have the same religious belief that I do, the same political belief that I do, but yet and still I love them. I truly love them. So let's practice what it means to really love. But first, we have to figure out what that word means. So go and seek out that word if you really want to start loving people. And with that being said, neighbor, like, share, become my neighbor. I want you to. I want you to become a part of my neighborhood. And again, I love you. And there's nothing you can do about it. I truly do. Bye, neighbor.